So, Kris, they are the play character in Deltarune, and today I am going to be talking about why their self-identity is important to the game. Quick warning that there will be spoilers for the two newest chapters, 3 and 4, as they dive into Kris a lot. Now that that's done, let's get into talking. I'm gonna start off with the obvious on things that explain that they're their own person and not just a blank slate for the player to paint. Firstly, they have a whole backstory explained. Kris has her own family, friends, relationships that they've built up themselves from childhood. They canonically used to wear a headband with monster horns so they felt more like a monster. They also are the prankster type as explained by Noel, with them pretending ketchup is blood. Oh, and they're also technically a Christian? Although that's a bit unknown right now, considering they stopped going to church as much with Toriel because Azriel left for college. And the biggest thing, Kris will literally rip out their soul from their body to stop us, the player, from controlling them. Whew. Okay, before I go more into them during the actual chapters, I'd like to take a minute to talk about their gender identity. And yes, this is important, because what you see yourself as gender-wise is very important to your self-identity. So, Kris is obviously non-binary. Everyone uses they, them while we're talking about them, even their own parents. It's clear that that's something they felt before we came along and that they told everyone about. I hate that I even have to make this a bit, but the amount of people saying the gender is up to us literally played the game blindfolded. Okay, now we can get up to the more important stuff. Chapter study! I wanted to thank my friend Key for some of the points made here. I will read straight off their messages sent to make this easier. Thank you for the help, Key. Seriously, you're amazing at theorizing stuff. Chapter 1, Themes of Freedom. Kris is still somewhat okay here, but the themes of freedom are already here. Also, off topic from the freedom aspect, but Kris canonically doesn't like being hugged/hugging people unless they're really close to them. Implied in Spamton's fight with the interaction with Susie when picking I'm Fine. Asgore also mentions this in the flower shop. I'd also like to add on to this. Chapter 1's whole theme was your choices don't matter. This ties into the freedom aspect quite a bit. And into identity. Basically, no matter what they try, how they handle things, it never mattered. It wouldn't change the outcome. They still won't be in control of themselves. Chapter 2. Spamton's fight clearly takes a toll on Kris's mental health. And also Queen's very words about how she liked Kris because they were very willing to do a lot of things. I don't have the exact dialogue, but it should be during the Cyber City section. Lucky for you, I do have the dialogue. Queen literally likes Kris because they don't have outspoken opinions about stuff. Which, yikes, that's probably our bad because they can't speak properly with us here. And I don't even want to get into dialogue options. Usually in the weird route, there's two options for like ending it and continuing it. The continuing one is usually just proceed, while, oh god, the ones to end it is obviously what Kris wants to say. Before fully moving on to chapter 3, I just wanted to say how fucked up Kris's mental health must be, like, even more after chapter 2 in the weird route. Because you literally pretty much kill Birdly. Birdly's pretty much dead, it's implied. It's a toy with beads on a track. One of the blue heads is broken and torn off. This dialogue pops up after you do the Snowgrave route in chapter 2. If that is not implying that Birdly is like in a coma, dead, I don't know what the fuck it's there for. The beads of the toy march on. This is the dialogue that pops up if you press on it at the end of chapter 2 in the normal route. Okay, just gonna cut in here for a quick second. Birdly is in a coma. Chapter 4 confirmed it, with a little scene that you can get. And now we're up to my favorite chapter of the game so far. Chapter 3. This chapter revealed so much shit about Kris, like, oh my god. Chapter 4 does too, but like, Chapter 3 is insane with it. I love it. Tenna. Tenna's very own quiz show actively quizzes Kris themselves and actively questions why they don't seem to recall things, or at the very least don't know the answer. Plus, Tenna himself is largely related to Kris's past, because he's been there since they were a child. Because he's their TV. In a way, too, he seems to represent Kris's want for things to go back the way that they used to be. Tenna, in one of the cutscenes, is said how he misses everyone come over for the holidays and watching movies on him. Kris themselves misses that too. They miss everything from when they were younger. They miss Asriel. They can't see him much anymore because he went to college. They also obviously just miss the whole family being together. Toriel and Asgore got a divorce, so they're not together either anymore. And all of the end minigames are directly referenced to things that Kris enjoyed watching or enjoyed when they were younger. The first cooking minigame, Kris's mother used to watch the cooking shows and write down every recipe. The second minigame is directly referencing December, Noelle's sister, and when she would used to play, like, switch the channels when they were younger and rock out to an inappropriate channel. And somehow, this chapter only gets worse with traumatizing Kris. The S-rank room! The fake-ass fucking bougie closet area, which is very run down. I think we all know where I'm going with this one. The mini-games. This whole section of games is literally a no mercy run. Before you pick up the sword, the weapon you use to kill everything, none of the monsters will attack you. The only way to get away from the screen is to die in game. Otherwise, you're pretty much stuck watching the game screen and playing it. And if you enter the room at the start after picking up the sword, it'll say, become stronger. Then when you get back after hitting level 3, it'll say, became stronger. It's a big no mercy run vibe, and it only gets worse when you enter the game the second time. After doing more of the killing, you'll find yourself going up the waterfall and onto a raft, all the way until you're at an icy area. You walk a bit until you're at a door, you use your ice key that you got at the end of the last time you played. And I kid you not, it's the Ice Palace. It is literally the Ice Palace. The whole thing is a Snowgrave reenactment, pretty much. The worst thing happens at the end. You and the white cloak person go through a maze and end up at a door. You use the ice key again and the following scene plays.
The door is locked. The ice key was used up. She was used up. You got the shelter key. Oh, you found that too. Perfect. Just perfect. Thanks for all your hard work, Kris. You were used up. Whoa, dude, what the...
I don't think I need to explain why this whole scene is messed up, right? Seeing something call your friend and you used up would make me feel both mad and hysterical. It's basically calling you worthless now that you've fulfilled what they wanted you to do. Kris turning their head at the end there alone proves how silently mad they were. And it somehow gets even worse in the next and last game we play. How does it get even worse than that, Harpic, I hear? Well, how about some good old-fashioned forcing you to kill your two friends? Well, just leave the game. You can't. There's no enemies to kill you. Once you're in it, the only way to leave is to proceed by killing Susie and Rose. Basically, you're screwed once you enter it. And somehow, it only gets worse. Once you defeat the secret boss, it puts the mantle armor you played this whole game for too high for the little game Kris to reach. So what do? Move to the right, and into the game room, where Kris is. And rightfully so, when they turn to look at you and see you, the game character that they or you are playing as, they freak out and start moving backwards. And just to make this oh so worse, you have the option to swing your sword when you're near them. This will make them fall onto the ground. Then after walking out of bounds, you take control of Kris again and make them walk into the game and grab the mantle. Then Kris goes back and to the game controller and you'll put into a cutscene with Susie. Pretty much, Susie asks what Kris has been doing and asks them if they really enjoyed this game. And you're presented with the option, yes, games are fun, or just no. If you press no, then Susie will shove you out of the way and grab the controller. She'll say something along the lines of, then don't play it. Then the game pretty much plays normally as it would if you didn't go into the S room. Okay, Jesus. I did not expect Chapter 3 to take that long to explain stuff on. Whoa. I will only be talking mostly about the start of Chapter 4 because I haven't gone that far into it, but there probably is more stuff that I will miss because of that. So, we're back with the soul ripping out. Basically, Noelle will ask Kris to talk, and Kris will be like, wait a minute, I'll be right back. I need to go throw my soul in a present real quick. There's also the fact that Kris wants to respect Des's privacy and get us the fuck out of their body just to make sure we don't violate that privacy. So to explain this, before the whole Noelle thing, Kris went into her room to grab pencils and pencils and stuff because they're working on the group project. We go into Des's room and her guitar is there. We go up to it to check it, and then Kris is like, oh fuck no, you are not doing this, and rips out their fucking heart, and then leaves the room. Then the most interesting scene plays out. You play as the soul and go through the vents. Then you see Kris and Noelle talking. Apparently last night in-game, Kris talked to Noelle. They said that everything was going to be okay, Birdley was going to get fine, and Noelle says that that's the first time she has heard their voice like that in a while. And even if it was deadpan, it felt good to her. After that, Noelle asks if she could say something else, and 2 dialogue options pop up. Proceed and please don't. It's pretty much canon that the please don't option is Kris begging the player, because Noelle says that even though they didn't say anything, she probably shouldn't continue on with what she was going to say. Then she ends it off by saying, I'm glad you're back. And that's pretty much all, I guess, for now. When I finish Chapter 4, I may make a part 2 if I find anything else. But this was basically a deep dive into their character, I guess. I don't know how to explain it. I love Kris as a character, and I love how the game portrays them. Thank you all for watching. Bye-bye.